Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Inventing a Paycheck with Mary and Heather. I'm Mary Goulet.
And I'm Heather Ryder, and I was just counting up all the different ways you can make money with audio. And we have at least 8 different ways that you can monetize your audio stream, your live radio, your podcast. And that's going to come up in the next segment. But in this segment, what are we going to do? Who are we going to be talking to?
We are inviting Wade, who is the owner of WS Radio. And Wade and I have been working here at WS Radio forever. He's watched my kids grow up. Gosh darn it. Welcome, Wade.
Thank you. Are you guys hearing me okay?
Yes, we are. And we're waiting for your genius because
good.
You have been running this studio and helping people with their live radio show. Some are remote. A lot of them are remote, meaning they might be in another city, another state.
We've done shows from the International Space Station and Australia. So
Wow.
Oh, gosh.
they can be anywhere.
So you don't have to live in San Diego to do a live radio show with us, right?
Correct. And, that's the beauty of technology. And one of the nice things about an audio podcast is I don't have to worry about cameras. So anywhere we can get a phone line out to, we can have somebody join in the show. And that's what, just makes it so expansive. And, listening to your last segment, there's something that I wanted to kind of throw in. You guys hit it right on the head when you're talking about authentic conversations, right? But as you explain this to people, many of the objections that you might get, I believe, derive from them thinking, well, this is the only thing you're doing. And so I really want to emphasize, as much as we love podcasts, it's not the only thing you should be doing. You should have the print blog. You should do some little videos. And once you realize I've got all those things I can do, you don't shoehorn everything into the podcast. If I've got a list to give people, I'm not going to burn airtime reading them a list. That's a printout that goes on the page. So once you realize the podcast doesn't have to do everything, I can use these other tools, and now I can use the podcast for what it excels at, which is conversations, which is sharing, which is creating an emotional connection through theater of the mind, right? I always say you can go to somebody's website and you can see their picture and you can read their bio, but until you hear their voice, you don't feel like you know them. And so, again, once you remove, the misunderstanding that the podcast is supposed to do everything for you, many of those objections fall by the wayside because, you want to give them a list, use a printout for that. And you guys just feel the dynamic that a conversation has, right?
Oh, for sure.
And then with live, again, we're not overproducing it. If you have a Tourette's outbreak, okay, I might edit out a few things.
We like to leave those in.
Yeah. But you get the feel of the conversation because it's happening live. And the listener, there's just something about the real-time experience knowing I'm experiencing this at the same time the hosts are. And then, like you said, live also opens up the possibility to bring in callers. And so there's just a lot of power in the live that, again, can always be recorded and posted. We called it Radio and Archives 18 years ago when WS Radio started.
Right? Yes.
Because nobody knew what a podcast was, to your point.
Wouldn't you say that our archives 18 years ago were our podcast, correct?
Exactly. It just, nobody knew that terminology. We're introducing this to the world of business that realized, holy cow, I can't not be doing stuff like this. But the terminology they're familiar with was radio rather than a stream, which is what it is on the internet. Simply a stream is click the button, programs in progress.
Exactly.
And you join during the any time of the live stream.
Exactly. And then a podcast was a recording, but again, since nobody knew what the terminology was, but an archive was a concept they could get their mind around. That was the language we use now. Nowadays, just like you guys, if people understand what a podcast is, I'll gladly use that terminology.
Yes, well, the recording now of our live stream is our podcast.
Correct. And again, we just don't worry about making it overly produced. Also, what I've learned in working with people is if I tell a host to just start recording, it's not going to be streaming live. If you make a mistake, just stop and go back. It kind of takes their edge off. They get kind of lax. But when you tell somebody, as you guys well know, Mike's hot, you're performing now.
Yes, and it changes the energy of the recording.
Exactly. There's an urgency to it. There's an immediacy to it. And then again, like you guys mentioned, if you prepare in advance, you allow yourself to be for that hour, you don't have to spend 20 hours editing it afterwards. I'm constantly amazed at people that go, I recorded my podcast. I'm about 3 weeks behind in editing and getting them posted.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you, Wade. That is my biggest thing. And I got caught up even in that. I'm going to record the podcast and then I'm going to turn it over to somebody to edit who doesn't know.
So I was at the New Media Summit the first time, and this is the fabulous newmediasummit.net, Steve Olsher's. It's an amazing event. It's held every 6 months. It's in San Diego this time in September, and then March 9th through the 11th in 2020. If you can get there, go to the website, go to our website, and we'll have a link if you want to read about it and buy a ticket. It's worth it if you are in the podcasting world. Anyway, I've been an icon there. I'm going on my 5th time, sitting on the stage, and all these podcasters in the audience and wannabe podcasters in the audience. And I remember saying on stage, they were asking me about my podcast, and I'm like, I never edit. I never have edited a podcast. I record live, and it goes in the can.
Thank you.
Everybody looked at me like I had 8 heads. They're like, what? I'm like, well, I have my intro music. It's there. That cues me when to start talking. My outro
I don't know
music,
how to talk without intro music.
You have to have intro music, right?
It just sets up the energy of the live stream.
Yes.
Which is, to me, more professional.
Yeah, I don't understand why people, like I had one person say, I record on Mondays and I edit on Wednesdays and I post the following week. And I remember, Wade, how many times Heather and I would go into the studio, record on Monday morning, get the link.
20 years ago.
Put the link in a newsletter on Tuesday, and it was a wrap for the rest of the week. We were done.
Done.
No editing. That's live radio.
Oh, and then on Wednesday, did we get a book deal?
We did.
Yes. So what do you think about that, Wade? Right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just understanding how to do this professionally. And, I encourage DIY, do it yourself. Simply, if you need to get something going, don't let anything be your impediment. And if all you can do is do some kind of recording or whatever, power to you. But if you have the capacity to do it professionally, it just makes your life easier. It takes all that burden off your brain. And now, it's kind of like the old work on your business, not in your business. If you're spending 14 hours a week editing your podcast, you're stuck working in your business, and your business probably isn't even podcasting. Yes. So now you just spent 14 hours that you should have been doing whatever you do.
Exactly.
Right. Going back to the point that you were making at the beginning, like podcast should be it should be a marketing tool. It should be part of the conversation. It's about sharing and bringing people into your business and introducing people to what you do.
Yeah, I started out in video. I've written for magazines. I run a podcasting network. I'm media agnostic. There are 3 different tools. And so the way I try to sum it up is the superpower of print is data, superpower of video's demonstration, superpower of audio's desire building. So print is for what? videos for how, audios for why. Use the tools accordingly.
Well, okay, so I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I follow certain people. They're in my subscription, whatever. A lot of them, I love their voice. I never see their face. I have no idea what they look like because on their YouTube, they might be interviewing someone, but they're showing different stuff on the screen relative to what they're talking about. So I think sound is the most powerful thing. And if you have a video with crappy sound, people will click off.
Bad audio will kill video faster than bad video will kill video. And with less than a minute left, audio's a multitasking thing. How many times have people watched a YouTube video and not watched it? They just turned it on and then set the phone aside. And you might go, okay, I can easily do that. But if you're on a data plan, you just burn up a whole lot more of your data than if it would have been an audio file. If you're the one producing it, you just underwent a whole lot more expense of creating a visual that's never going to be or rarely going to be used. So for me, it's just inefficiency, right? If audio is going to get you what you need, why are you burdening it with all this other technology?
And there you have it.
And that's why you should be joining us at inventingapaycheck.com because we're going to be doing a weekend with Wade.
Yes!
Right? And we are going to be teaching people exactly how to do this and get you up and streaming your live radio show.
Yep. All right, you're listening to Inventing a Paycheck with Mary and Heather. We'll be right back.
Whether you are a woman, a man, or a young person, your time in a hair salon should be special. I'm Doris Rivas-Brecky, host of Daily Dialogue with Doris on WS Radio, and I look forward to those special moments at Fantastic Sam's located at 124 West Main Street in downtown El Cajon, California, and the Fantastic Sam Salon at 9723 Mission Gorge Road in Santee, California. I go to both depending on which way I'm heading out for work. Both salons are conveniently located by two major freeways. The Fantastic Sam's experience is always positive, uplifting, and family-friendly. Fantastic Sam stylists put your hair needs and desires first. So if you don't know Fantastic Sam's in El Cajon or Santee, California, why don't you give them a try and tell them Daily Dialogue with Doris sent you.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this This is your life, live it well.